Hello everyone, welcome back to another manga chapter review. I am the Rat, and this is the Rat's Nest. Today I'm joined by Kyle, as always. Say hi, Kyle.
Hi.
And today we're looking at One Piece again. I love One Piece so much.
I love One Piece too.
Chapter 1059, the Captain Kobe incident. Wow, that's a fancy name.
Yeah.
This was a very good chapter. I enjoyed it a lot.
One of the best ones in a while.
I would agree with that. We get to see a lot of stuff when we get to a lot more stuff from the end of Wano is like better established, I guess. I'm not whatever. Let's just get into it. Well, it'll explain itself in time. We start off. We have Marco is on the Shanks' ship and he's flying back. They took him back to his place near where Whitebeard's hometown was. We get a little flashback to Yamato telling Luffy why she isn't going to be joining the Strawhats just yet. Because she's like, yo, there's going to be a lot of bad people coming to Wano. And, if I'm not there, then, who's gonna fend them off?
Yeah, she's the strongest on Wano, or one of the strongest on Wano, so she leaves. A lot of their defenses would go down due to new invaders after Kaido's defeat. So, I still wish she was on the team too, but I can understand why she's not at the moment.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it, Oda. It makes sense. I'll accept it. I've moved on.
I get it. I understand it. However, I hate it. I wish she was on the team.
And she is still very attractive.
Yeah, and one thing I liked about this is, just a wholesome moment where Luffy thanks them after saving them in the war. I mean, it's just a small moment, but appreciated.
Yeah, a lot of people were wondering why Luffy never talked to Marco, and here we get to see that. It was nice to see Marco say, I'm sure Ace would be proud to see how far you've come.
Yeah,
and
how high is
just like, oh, yeah, really? And it's just like, that was really nice. I quite like Marco. I doubt we'll see him again until, the end of One Piece. But yeah, he's a fun character. Yeah. I really like him.
Anyway, all the important stuff out of the side, we get to the main event.
Yes.
Yes.
We get to the Captain Kobe incident, you could say.
Not only do we get to see Brandon's wife, but we also get to see Boa Hancock.
That's so true. That's completely accurate. You get to see Boa and her reintroduction. Very good, which I think if you're in the One Piece spoiler community, due to the hints, it was pretty obvious Boa and Blackbeard, as we'll see, came out. But here we get some very interesting things. So it's a flashback to a couple weeks ago from the point of where we start and get to see. We get to see a new Navy Vice Admiral of Yamakaji. I don't think we've seen him before anyways. And we get introduced to the Seraphims, yes. The new pacifistas.
And the interesting about them is that they're all based off of child versions of the prior 7 warlords.
Yeah. And theoretically, the new warlords as well will have child versions. It's just the two we've seen have been the original set of warlords. Mm-hmm. So it could be those. And theoretically, before the times of the One Piece story, we see there were different 7 warlords. So maybe we'll get to see child versions of different warlords that we have never seen before.
Who knows? But
cool.
As of now, as Brandon said, Shanks is now the 3rd strongest swordsman because we have Child Mihawk.
Child Mihawk, dude. Shanks is the 3rd strongest swordsman. It's a shame. Also, with the Seraphims, it's not just a cloned child of the 7 warlords. It's mixed with Lunarian DNA.
Yeah, because they have wings and a flame.
Yeah, and the brown skin and the white hair.
Don't tell Zora.
Yeah, don't tell Zora. So it's like King. So it's what exactly are the Lunarians? I think it'll come up relatively soon. And I think also being introduced to the Seraphims, there is a decent chance we might get to meet Vegapunk relatively soon, in the next 100 or so chapters.
Well, okay, we'll get back to that in a bit. We'll circle back because they bring up Vegapunk just for a small segment later.
Yeah.
Not too, but yeah. So we basically get this big battle royale between a little battle royale between the Kuja pirates, the Blackbeard pirates, and then the Navy.
And Blackbeard shows up absolutely dripped out.
I love his visual design. I know, like, his original design was okay, but I love his time skip.
Oh yeah, his emperor form where he becomes like Blackbeard. It's okay.
He and his crew are chatting, and then they're here because they want Boa Hancock's power. Like that, they're double.
They're after it. We also get to see that taking the power doesn't necessarily kill the person.
No.
Like, so theoretically, with Absalom, they took his power and then killed him later.
Yeah.
At least I think it's confirmed that he's dead, or if nothing else, it's heavily implied that he's dead.
I mean, think of it like Whitebeard, where they killed Whitebeard and then they took his power. So, like, maybe it's something where it's like a little bit after the body, or maybe it's you can take it before someone else eats the new fruit. I don't know. We'll figure out his powers later, probably. But right now, they just want to kill Boa after they take her power.
Yeah, or rape her. It's up in the air.
Yeah,
with the wording they use.
This is when we get to see Child Mihawk and Blackbeard.
So we get to see that Kobe's here, or Kobe's like, can't say I'm surprised that we expected other pirates to want a piece of the former warlords. Hancock, the Navy isn't looking for a fight. If you surrender to us, I promise we'll leave immediately. Showing that Kobe is still like good. We get to see
Kobe's
Boa's
he's
sisters.
A good person.
And then I'll never submit to another captivity. Boa Hancock is kind of a girl boss in this episode. Oh my gosh. I'm tired, guys. In this chapter, Boa Hancock is kind of a girl boss. We get to see. So we also see that Blackbeard knows what Lunarians are. He says, "Wait, you're kidding. White hair, brown skin, and black wings. You guys aren't serious. This kid took you all down by himself, PX. Don't tell me he's a pacifista." So it's implied that he knows what Lunarians are.
Which, again, okay, let's talk about this for a second. Side note. A Lunarian mixed with pacifista abilities sounds terrifying.
Yeah, plus the DNA of warlords.
My God, they're breeding like Cell from Dragon Ball.
Exactly. I mean, they created the second strongest swordsman.
I still can't get over that.
So we get to see. So these guys are insanely strong, and not only that. So here in this one page specifically, where we get to see Child Mihawk, wearing Blackbeard's like PX. We get to see that they created a replica of Mihawk's sword, which is one of like 12 whatever grade swords, whatever.
Yeah.
For him to use.
He blocks
we
it,
also,
though.
We get to see that Blackbeard has hockey, which I think this is the first time we've ever seen Blackbeard use hockey. Because I saw a couple people talking about this panel being like, okay, this proves that Blackbeard can use hockey.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the first time we get to see him use hockey.
I mean, yeah, either way, I would have figured at this point he at least had hockey. If he didn't, I'd be a little worried, as, being an emperor and all.
Yeah.
Although Buggy probably doesn't. Buggy's probably the only.
Yeah. He's the exception. He's the exception.
The next page, we get to see both Blackbeard and Boa try to attack. And
we get to see the new bounties.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the page after, but yeah, we get to see. Yeah,
this
Boa
is probably the
uses
most
her powers.
iconic. Yeah, this is the most iconic panel of chat. At least I think is the most iconic.
Oh yeah, no, this is a great panel
of Kobe looking at Blackbeard choking out Boa.
We get to see that Hancock's new bounty is 1.659 billion. I think that's fair. I'm like, yeah, no, slay queen.
She okay, your bias towards her aside, she is that powerful. Like, think about it in the world of One Piece. She beats almost any man in a fight because most men will fall to her, seductively. Even Blackbeard later on, he says like, no man can resist your charm, except Luffy, but no man can resist your charm.
Yeah, she paralyzes Devon and the other guy, that Blackbeard. Two of Blackbeard's 10 Titanic captains.
Yeah, they get affected.
One of which is a female as well. And we get to see Blackbeard's new bounty is 3.966 billion. Not quite 4.
It's 996.
Oh yeah. So not quite 4, but definitely it's good to finally get his updated bounty, because like I think everyone knew that like his 2.4 billion from like directly post time skip wasn't accurate anymore. But it's good to see like yes, he does have the second highest bounty of the emperors. So the sad thing is now that Mihawk does not have a higher bounty than Blackbeard, but it was funny while it lasted. But yeah, no, it's a goated panel.
Theirs make sense. Their bounties make sense.
Yeah, no, totally.
And then we get to see the bargaining where it's this big decision where Boa has a lot of people turned to stone. Like both people on both sides are turned to stone, and Blackbeard's saying, "I might just kill you," and she's like, "Well, if you kill me, even if you take my power and like give it to someone else, they can't undo what I've done," which is another confirmation of part of Boa's power, where future users of her fruit can't undo the stuff that she does.
Yeah. Which is relatively niche. Like, it's not necessarily useful in a lot of cases. But in this case, it is very useful.
We don't know if she's lying.
She could be.
Like, she could be. I'm going to say that she's not.
I guess if she's not, then the question is, how does she know?
I mean, she could just be making it up.
That's fair.
Either way, it's smart of her. Either it's the truth and she's bargaining, or she's making it up and tricking Blackbeard. Like, either way, slay Girlboss. That's all I can say.
In the next panel, we get a little backstory where Kobe apparently helped Blackbeard out of the place. Seems like for a bit of an impasse, doesn't it? Hero referring to Kobe, who's like the hero of the Navy or something, whatever they call him. You did me a favor at Rocky Port. Made it possible for me to oust Choku. I don't remember who that is. And become boss of Pirate Island. So Blackbeard's like base, where I think canonically the Rock's Pirates base, like used as their base. We find out that he was able to conquer that island with the help of Kobe.
Yeah. Well, because the Rocky Port incident was something involving law during the time skip. I don't remember all the details. We could talk about that a little bit next chapter.
I'll have to look into that to see if Ochoku is an established character.
I don't know.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Edit something on screen in this episode. I don't know. Just something to correct it. Who knows? But I when I first read it, I saw that as whenever he said you did me a favor, I interpret that as because of what Kobe did, Blackbeard was able to take advantage of the situation. That sounds more like him than working together with the Navy admiral, or not admiral, but working sounded better than him working together.
Yeah. I guess this is the type of thing that really we're just going to see what the official translation says.
Semantics.
The exact wording. Yeah.
Either way.
See that Boa's like, I'll do it if you both get off my island, and then Blackbeard's like, Ayo, Cap.
Blackbeard's about to kill her, and then we get another jaw-dropping reveal this chapter.
Yeah, dude. The goat is here.
What do you mean?
Relates to this island, but I didn't think the train here would get devastated. Sorry I'm late, Hancock. We get to see Rayleigh. He's back. Absolutely dripped out. Fun fact, I don't think we've ever seen Rayleigh's bounty.
It's probably very, very high.
If it's not like a retired bounty or something.
Yeah.
So we get to see, he says, I know it's immature to admit this, but I really don't like you.
Yeah, he basically does a mini version of Shanks solving the war, where he just shows up and is like, you two, you quit your fighting and go, or else I'm going to get involved. And in the next panel, we see him admit, like, I don't think I could have handled that on my own. I'm too old for this. Also, side note.
Yeah, we get to see that Shaki. We get a bit of her lore in that she's a former empress of Amazon Lily.
Yeah, so she was the one before Boa, apparently.
2 generations ago, so she was the one before the one before Boa. So she's Boa's grandmother, I believe. Right? Would that make sense?
Yeah, she's very old.
Mm-hmm. Well, relatively old, but still kind of based. We get more information. This is where I think Vegapunk is brought up. Vegapunk Seastone paddle ships, which allows them to pass the Calm Belt and lets them get away from the Sea Kings and avoid them and kind of enter and exit the Grand Line at will.
Yeah, so the Navy has been doing a lot more. Like, they've been moving a lot more, and that's kind of worrisome for the future of One Piece. And then let's see. Yeah, he says we got lucky. They're talking about it, and then they bring up these seraphims where the big reveal where it looks like Boa but as a child.
Yeah, and this is what we were saying, where it's like,
Yeah, and then more we find out at the very last panel of the chapter, Oda just drops this, refuses to elaborate, then ends it. Kobe was kidnapped by Blackbeard.
Okay, and so here down at the bottom, we get to see who Ochoku is. Ochoku is the Japanese reading of Wang Zi. This former member of the Rock's crew was first mentioned in chapter 957. While Viz's choice to convert the term to its Chinese reason is valid, we have opted to stick with the Japanese pronunciation given. Using the Chinese reading may make the reference more apparent to a Western audience. Under the same logic, a character like Dragon Ball Son Goku would now be widely known as Sun Wukong.
I don't think you need to read all this. This is just explaining like the translation.
Yeah. Basically, he was a former Rocks pirate that inhabited the island that Rocks used as a base, and Blackbeard beat him.
Yeah, and then
maybe with the help of Kobe, maybe Kobe did something else that allowed Blackbeard to beat him easier. We just don't know the exacts of that.
I want to go that route. I want to believe there was like fighting. I want to believe Blackbeard did what he did during Summit War, where he showed up at an opportune moment to take advantage. We'll see what the official translation says, of course.
But it could also be something like God Valley, where we know Roger teamed up with the Marines to beat Rocks.
I'm not saying you're wrong. It could be either one. We don't know.
We'll just wait. We'll wait for the official translation. I don't doubt we'll learn more about it in coming chapters. Yeah. But so this is the interesting thing, Kyle. Going forward, do you think this is the Blackbeard arc? Do you think this is where the Straw Hats go against Blackbeard to rescue Kobe?
I could definitely see it, because here's the thing. All right, let's look at the stakes real quick. Okay. All that remains, we've beaten two of the emperors. There's 4 emperors now. Shanks and Buggy, I don't see them being as like humongous, formidable foes against Luffy. I don't know. Maybe Luffy will fight Shanks at one point for whatever reason, or maybe not. I don't know.
Shanks will become relevant again whenever we get to like the One Piece stuff.
So here's what I'm thinking. Out of what I mean is, out of the emperors, all that remains is Blackbeard. They'll probably. Zoro's got to fight Mihawk at some point. That I'm putting that on the back burner of my thoughts.
Yeah, that's his end game.
There's that, and then the last formidable enemy, unless something I've forgotten about comes back, like maybe did we get confirmation that Rocksteady Zebek is dead?
I don't know if it's 100% confirmed that he's dead, but it's the question of where would he be otherwise.
The only thing I could think of is all the stuff with the Navy. Like the Navy is shaping up to be like the ultimate end game of One Piece.
Yeah,
certain parts of them, because when One Piece first started.
Okay, so
Navy,
I think so. This says he canonically is deceased.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know exactly where we learned that, but apparently he is. I trust the One Piece wiki enough to say that Rocks is dead.
The thing with the Navy is, when they were first introduced a long time ago, it was like, okay, they're kind of formidable, but we've seen like they have an influence over history itself. We still need to know the Void Century. There's so many mysteries we don't know, and I feel like they all aim back towards the Navy and the Marines and what they've done.
Yeah,
so
the world government.
I feel like Blackbeard. If we're gonna compare Blackbeard to whoever the strongest in the Navy is, I feel like Blackbeard's next. If we had to pick who's quote unquote next in terms of like an enemy, I feel like it would be Blackbeard. There's a lot to resolve with Blackbeard. Blackbeard was the one that, while he did not directly kill Ace, and there's still Luffy needing to beat the fuck out of Akainu, I feel like he's caused enough problems where fighting him next would be like good closure for some of Luffy's character, because he was the one that beat Ace, had him sent, or he turned them in and became a warlord, killed Whitebeard, caused the entire war to become an emperor, and is still, we don't know, like, we just know that he's hunting devil fruits and wants to become the strongest pirate crew. That's what I can guess so far. So yeah, I feel like Blackbeard would be an interesting one to fight next. If they had to fight someone next, my guess would be Blackbeard, although that might be incorrect, because that just seems too simple. Sorry, there's a lot. That was a lot to unpack there.
That's just the thing of like, it ends on a cliffhanger relating to Blackbeard. This could be another thing that's like Oda's just putting this here in 100 chapters. We'll get to it, and if so, that's fine. Luffy eventually has to come into contact with Blackbeard.
I feel like
I don't know if I see Blackbeard helping the Navy. Because really, the final war of One Piece, I really feel will be like Luffy and all of his allies versus the world government. I feel like that's what it's been setting up towards, and I just don't see Blackbeard helping the world government. So I feel like Blackbeard needs to be handled before. So it's like, is now the time? Is Kobe being kidnapped reason enough for Luffy to go do it? Yeah, 100%. Like
oh,
Luffy
absolutely. No, like it's gonna tie all the way back into whenever he first met Kobe, and man, who remembers the scene of him sitting under the crew with Kobe, or the ship with Kobe, and he's like, what do you want to do? And Luffy's like, I'm the man who's gonna become the Pirate King, and Kobe's like, that's impossible. It's gonna come all together. It's all gonna link back.
Oh yeah. Another thing that I saw people bring up as a potential for next chapter is that the last 2 chapters we've kind of seen what's been going on with all the former warlords. So maybe next chapter we'll get, I think the 3 were, it was Weevil, Moria, and we've seen Kuma. Who's the last one? Who's the last one there? Dofi. And Dofi.
Well, I mean,
so
Dofi,
we might get updates on those 3.
Hold on. Okay, so Doflamingo, assuming he hasn't broke out of prison, he's still in Impel Down. The lowest levels of Impel Down. And Moria, I do not give a shit about, as you know. Hello, people who watch the no, we didn't record this One Piece Talks. I hate Gecko Moria. I can explain it later. I do not like him. And then with Weevil, I don't know. I mean, we could see him, I guess, since we finished a big arc where we're showing all the events in the world happening outside of the Straw Hats' perspective. So who knows? If not Weevil, I'd like to believe we're shaping up for Shanks and Blackbeard. That's my guess.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's gonna go the Blackbeard way. But also, Luffy's the Straw Hats are going towards an island that we don't know yet. So I mean, we'll see the island first. Before Luffy figures out anything about Blackbeard.
Yeah, wouldn't it be cool if they ended up going to Blackbeard's base island?
That would be cool. And I feel like whenever they take on Blackbeard, I feel like they would go there, or maybe Blackbeard would come to him, because we just had the Straw Hats raiding the enemy. But I guess that's everything in it, where it's like the Straw Hats infiltrating. So yeah, no, I mean, we definitely could, and I feel like if we went to that island, I feel like that might also be when we get more information about Roxy Zebek.
Yeah, and honestly, we know there's no way that it's not. It's gonna have to be Luffy and his crew Luffy and Blackbeard's crew 1v1ing each other, right? There's no way that it's not gonna be that.
Yeah, but the weird thing is it's Blackbeard and his 10 Titanic captains. Luffy only has 9 crewmates.
Kobe. We're going to get Kobe.
True. But Kobe wouldn't join the Straw Hats, but he could fight alongside them. It could be a similar thing to Garp and Roger joining.
Yeah, God Valley.
Also, I really, so this is very random, and this will be kind of the last little thing I'll throw out unless we have other things that you want to say. There's theories out there that Blackbeard is Roxy Zebek's son.
I could totally see it. I mean,
or somehow I'm not related to him.
I'm not against that theory. Also, one last thing. We still need to find out how in the world him taking people's devil fruits works, because
yeah,
using multiple fruits, it shouldn't be possible.
So Oda, as far as, so this is, what you call it, I know you don't know this, but in the One Piece community, there's been talks about providing a source for what you say. I crisscross applesauce swear on my heart that this is a thing that Oda said in an SBS one time. I could be completely wrong. So don't crucify me. But I believe 99.99% sure that Oda at one point in time said in an SBS that when we meet Vegapunk, we will learn the secrets of devil fruits because he knows it. And so we also know that Blackbeard is insanely strong and theoretically knows the second most about devil fruits in the world right after Vegapunk. Blackbeard could theoretically know the truth about devil fruits too. We just don't know if he knows.
Guys, I promise, I heard it in an Oda SPP where he said that Crocodile's Luffy's mom. Just crisscross applesauce. I heard it once, right?
It's just like Queen Elizabeth II's death. It was revealed to me in a dream. I can say that. It's 100% true. I won't get into the details, but it's 100% true.
I think this spiraled way out of a chapter.
I think this is the point where we need to end the episode. So, if you're this far in the video, obviously there's something you like. So make sure to like and subscribe, and check out Goobers and Screens book club. Currently airing Hunter x Hunter, coming out tomorrow, because this will be aired tomorrow, which is Sunday, but we're recording this Saturday, so coming out tomorrow, which is Monday, is the start of the 3-part, 5-hour-long Chimera Ant arc review. If you're a fan of Hunter x Hunter, be sure to check it out. Any last words, Kyle?
No.
We'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.